So today we're going to talk about lead gen marketing ideas to help us grow our business. I want to start with a couple of things. Number one being that the goal for these trainings, being called masterminds, is to have interaction from everybody. So I would love to welcome everybody to share any ideas and strategies that they're seeing work for them right now in real time. The idea behind this format is you might have tapped into something that is working for you right now that other people can benefit from. Also, there's stuff that some of us might have been doing in the past that we kind of lost track on and forgot. So having this open format really helps everybody kind of step into what's working now and things that they can execute inside of their business. So for those of us I'd like to share, this is a safe environment and welcome you to do so. You can raise your hand and we'll kind of go in order from there. Outside of that, I want to welcome Billy Colestock, my brother from another mother and partner at our sister company, We Lease Property Management. Billy hosts these things with me and is just an all-around awesome human, also a top producing agent as well, runs a great team, and also runs We Lease Property Management for all of your property management needs. How you doing today, Billy?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you propping us up like that.
Appreciate you being here. All right. Well, let's kind of dive into some strategies. I have a few things written down. I'd also, again, welcome you guys to raise your hand and share some things that you're seeing working. First thing that I want to touch on is when you have a listing coming up, the concept of winning before you even go on the listing appointment. So the reality is, oftentimes when you're going into a listing appointment, there's going to be other agents that you're competing against. Our goal is how can we take the seller essentially off the market and get them excited to work with us, so much so that they don't even want to meet with the other listing agents that they have appointments with. So something that testing with a few agents that I've been consulting and coaching at LPT and Big Block is the idea of winning the listing before the actual listing appointment. So what's my point? All of us have access to the listing power pack, right? You get it for free on all of your listings. You just have to pay for shipping. So we want to make sure that you get one of those ordered. It could be a sample property, doesn't matter. The goal is you get the listing power pack, you have it at your office or your house, and then I want you to go to a whiteboard or even on a table. And I want you to take each individual different collateral piece, door hanger, the different flyers, the neighborhood report, the little business card of the property. There's, I want to say, like 10 different types of collateral, right? So I'm going to take those 10 different pieces of collateral and I'm going to lay them out on the table or on the whiteboard and tape them up in a circle. Then I'm going to take another piece of paper, blank white piece of paper, and I'm going to write the property address. So 123 Banana Street on a white piece of paper in the middle of all the marketing collateral. Let me see if I can draw this out for you guys, actually. So I have 123 Street, and then I have all the different marketing pieces that come in the listing power pack. I'm drawing this out real quick. And I put that, oh, is it not gonna?
You have to unblur.
Unblur.
It's a new term.
Okay, so I take all the different pieces So door hanger, business card, small flyer, large flyer, neighborhood report, etc. I put those all in a circle. I take a white piece of paper and I put the property address, the listing that I'm going to in the middle, and I have lines connected to it, right? So then once I have this, there's two ways to execute on it. One is you take a picture in front of the whiteboard with all the marketing collateral and the property listing, the listing address, excuse me, in the middle. Take a picture and send it to the homeowner before your appointment and say something to the tune of, "Hey, Billy, it's Sam. Very excited to meet with you about listing your property at 123 Banana Street. I just finished meeting with my team, building out our listing plan of action to make sure that we get your home the most amount of attention and help it sell for the best price in the shortest amount of time." So what I've done is I have showed them the value that I bring before I even show up to the listing appointment. I am essentially showing them that I'm already taking mental ownership of having this listing before I've even gotten the listing contract signed. And I now am making any other listing agent that's coming in have a bigger barrier to entry of what I've already done to show value versus what they haven't done to show value. So to me, getting ahead of the listing with something like this is a great way to increase your conversions. So you can either do it with picture and text or an actual video where you're standing in front and you say, "Hey, Billy, I'm here, just finished meeting with my team, planned out the marketing plan to get your home the most amount of exposure and sell it for top dollar in the shortest amount of time. Can't wait to share this with you when we get together on Friday to list your property." When they respond, then you can say, up to you, you can say, "At this point, Billy, a lot of my clients, when they see this, they want to get in the express lane and have me start working on selling their property. If you're interested in skipping the line, we can work together over Zoom to get your property listed right now, or I'll see you Friday at 2 o'clock for our actual listing appointment." I've seen that there's a handful of agents that I've had work this, and out of the 5 listing agents, there's been, I want to say, almost 10 listing appointments. This has been like 2 weeks we've been trying this. And 2 times the seller has said, "Wow, that's awesome. Let's just work on listing the property right away." So done the right way, not only are you elevating your status before you show up to the listing appointment and showing your value against the other agents, but you can also convert the listing appointment into a listing even quicker than otherwise scheduled, if that makes sense.
What's kind of floating around in my head is that a lot of owners, Jasenia and I have done this before, and it really, really works. But what ends up happening is that owners kind of wonder what are they actually going to do so that they can get my home sold, and it answers that question, and it makes it so that they don't have to wonder, how are they going to get my home sold? How are they going to market my property? If you're coming with a strategy before you even show up with, I've worked with my team, and here's the different collateral pieces that I've put together. That just answers that question, and it's going to make it simpler for them to select you. I love it.
100%. Thank
Hey,
you for that.
how do people get this? I mean, maybe for the 1 or 2 of them who have not ever gone and picked up one of these packages yet.
So inside of LPT Connect, your back office login, there's a marketing section. Let me see if I can actually log in. Let's see here. But there's a marketing section that lets you start to order all these different marketing collaterals. So I don't know that I'll be able to do it on mine because I don't have my profile completely finished because I don't sell real estate. But let me just share with you the screen real quick.
I think even if you just get to like point them in the right direction of where it would be at.
Yeah. Is my screen showing, Billy?
Yes. Good morning, BBR1.
Okay. So inside of LPT Connect, there's a bunch of stuff. But when I come here to property marketing, it won't give you the next step until you finish your profile. So you got to put all your stuff in, your photos, your shipping and billing. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. And then once it's done, you go to property marketing, and then you go to properties, and you're going to have the listing power pack as an option. If you need help with any of this, you can call Agent Concierge, and Michelle can help guide you in the right direction. But again, you just come back into your LPT Connect, you go to property marketing, finish creating your profile, upload your photo, then do your payment method and your billing, your shipping address. And then you go to the property marketing, and then there's also agent marketing, where you have your agent power packs. But the listing power pack is going to be in the property marketing, which I don't have active because I haven't uploaded my complete profile yet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
Thanks. You did get one person, and I'm sure that there was other people who wanted to know that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So the idea, again, I mean, I think it's, I don't know that there's much else to say with this strategy, but to kind of piggyback off of what Billy said, at the end of the day, your prospects, in this case, sellers, they want to feel comfortable and confident that you're the right person for the job. And by showing them this level of work before you've even taken the listing, gives them that confidence to feel comfortable that you're the right person for the job. Now, the one other thing I'll add to it is when you do this the right way, then you can start to leverage this on your social media posts. What do I mean by that? You take that same picture and maybe blur out the property address and you post it on social media. Like, I'm so excited, just built the listing the listing plan of action for my new listing, 123 Banana Street, whatever it may be. We've identified the 12 different ways that we're going to get this property the most amount of exposure. And now you can use that and leverage it on social media. So you can show people that you're in the business as opposed to just, open house flyers or just listed flyers or whatever. Hopefully that makes sense. John shared something. I see that, John. I don't know what I'm missing here, though. All right, any questions on this strategy? You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Sam, it's a picture of the property marketing on the back end to order the power pack from my side. Can you see the picture?
Oh, I see.
So it's order marketing. Just
Yeah,
click
so
on
you
that
click
button.
order marketing after you kind of put all the property in there, and then it's just super simple once you're all set up. My last power pack cost 17 bucks.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So if you go to that picture that John just shared, you'll see he uploaded the listing, and then you hit the button and start to order the marketing club. Appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. All right. Any questions on any of this?
No,
Right.
sir.
let's keep going. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? If not, I'm just going to keep spitting stuff out. But again, would love for this to be interactive. All right. Next thing is leveraging some cool things inside of AI. So something that I think would really help both with lead gen and conversion is having your own book, okay? So I want you to imagine for a moment, Billy does, what's so funny, Billy?
I just love when you talk about this idea. I love this idea.
So imagine you have your own book written that's, you know, whatever the title is, but selling your most effective or best strategies for selling your home, or the ultimate home buying guide, whatever it may be. You can leverage, actually, I'll show you, AI to make this process very, very easy for you. So I will show you, I'm actually working on one right now, where I am writing a book for real estate agents. So I just came into ChatGPT and I said, help me take a Word document that I wrote as the beginning of a book and turn it into 80 to 100 page book, please. So it responds, absolutely, I'd love to expand your document into 80 to 100 pages. Go ahead and upload it. Let me know your vision for the book, who it's for, key themes, etc. I go on to say it's for real estate agents and how they can be successful. The key theme is inspiration backed by tactics that work in the real world, etc., etc. So it's just asking me questions. We're going back and forth, and I upload this document. The document is like maybe like me just brain dumping a page and a half of like how I want this book to work and look. It then takes the book and it says, here's our essentially plan of action. So we're going to expand each section to 4 sections: mindset, skills, activities, and actions. We're going to add case studies and personal stories. We're going to make it more interactive with putting questions and exercises through it, structure for readability, and here's some additional topics to include. I said, yes, that sounds great. And it right away turns out the ultimate guide for selling more real estate and breaks down for me the sections. It did all this on its own. Section 1, mindset, think like a winner. It broke down the chapters inside of that section. Then it goes on to skills, activities, actions. Then it says, let me know how you feel about this outline. And it's literally, I think, doing great. So it says, you know, what other thoughts do you have? I shared some more thoughts. And it says, this is fantastic. Long story short, I answer its questions. And now it is in the background. I submitted this yesterday. It's in the background starting to write my book for me. And the whole thing is estimating it'll take it about 2 to 3 weeks. So I said, please send me each section as completed. And now it's working on the mindset section. It's going to send it to me so that I can review it, make my own edits. Then it's moving on to the next section. So
In that first document that you uploaded, when you said it was a brain dump, did you bullet point that brain dump? Did you jump from section to section? Was it just ideas that you put on a page and it went through and analyzed that?
the latter. So my goal with it, I didn't have to do the document. The reason I did the document is to answer your question for 2 things. One, I wanted to give the bullet points that I thought were important. So for me, it's those four bullet points: mindset, activities, action, skills. Then I did a little blurb on each section. And the reason I did the blurb on each section is because I wanted to write the book in my words, like the way that I would actually build out a book myself. So I wanted it to follow my style of writing, so to speak, so that it's, you know, in alignment with something that I would actually take time to write. And then I uploaded that it read it, it found the topics, and then you saw the rest of it go from there. Does that make sense?
It does.
So the question then becomes like, how can you build this out for yourself? And to me, it's, think, okay, I want to build one for buyers. I want to build one for sellers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into ChatGPT and I'm going to say, help me come up with titles for a book for home buyers that addresses these key points. And it'll give you a bunch of titles. Then you take the title and you say, okay, we're going to run with this title. Help me write a 50-page book. Please use this document that I'm going to upload to give you the framework for what I want you to develop. So in a matter of maybe like 20 minutes of work, you have framework put together so that ChatGPT can go in the background and start writing out each individual chapter for you. I even told it I wanted it to be a little more engaging. So let me see if I can share this. So I said, I like your idea. That's perfect. I like the idea of, excuse me. So it told me it's working on the book. And I said, I know you're working on this, but I wanted to share a thought. I would like to make the book visually stimulating alongside the content. Maybe we can add some sketches through the book that represent some of the key points and strategies. ChatGPT goes on to say that's a great idea. Adding sketches will make the book more engaging and help reinforce key topics, et cetera, et cetera. And then it asked me, do you like them hand-drawn, infographic, et cetera? And I said, I'd like them being hand-drawn. So now it's working on not just writing the book, but also giving the hand-drawn sketches to coincide with the topics and the content inside of the book. So once I have the book done, I can do a couple of things with it. One, through Amazon fulfillment, you can get a soft cover book printed like a real book, soft cover book with your own custom design, custom book for about $2 to $3 per book, printed and shipped to you. So for me, I'll have the book that I can use to give to people in person. You can use it when you go meet with listing appointments, meet with buyers, etc. Great, I think business card is a way to look at it. The other thing you can do is turn it into a lead magnet on your social media. So inside of, let's say, your Instagram, you can have links, right, on your profile to your different websites. So you can go and build a little landing page that essentially gets people to opt in to get a digital copy of your book sent to them for free. So now inside of my social, when I'm doing posts and I'm talking about real estate, I can finish up my posts and say something like, by the way, if you'd like the book I wrote on, the most effective home buying strategies, or how to make sure you sell your home for top dollar, whatever you end up calling it, go to the link in my profile and you could download the book for free. So hopefully that works. Aaron says, what website company can I get the book done? Aaron, do you mean the printing of the book? Yes. It's Amazon fulfillment. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But if you just Google search Amazon book publishing. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Amazon publishing. I'm putting it in the chat for you right now.
The last time you talked about this, when I was listening to it, you talked about various different ways to, or different platforms to help you edit, help you create it. Are you still finding that those are necessary, or has ChatGPT gotten to a point where you can put those prompts inside of ChatGPT and write everything within ChatGPT?
The latter. It's gotten a lot better from when we first started doing this. What was that? Probably almost a year ago.
Yeah.
But you can still use those other platforms. One of them was Grammarly, so that it makes it sound more human written and make sure that the grammar and everything is correct. The other one was it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But to answer your question, Billy, ChatGPT's really gotten it all figured out. So you can really just run with ChatGPT. But I would recommend, like when the book is done, make sure you read it yourself and make your own edits and do your best to make it sound like something that is in your words, so to speak.
One thing that I've been putting into when writing I use ChatGPT a lot to write emails. And one prompt I've been using is right at the 6th grade reading level. That way, that prompt will make it so it kind of brings it down a couple levels, and that helps. It seems to help a little bit.
I love that. So what are you're having it write articles or?
No, sorry, emails. So like when clients email in, sometimes our responses have to be a little bit longer to define or kind of write out what the situation was. Get into ChatGPT, put the bullet points of what I want it to say, and then have it write an email. We can define the length. We can define obviously the style and all that.
Love that. All right. Any other questions or thoughts around the book side of things? We talked about how to create it, how to get it printed, then leveraging it on your social as a lead magnet to get people to opt in for it. The next thing I'm going to do from there is, now that I have all these different chapters and topics that ChatGPT wrote for me, I then can take it and go to an AI twin, something like HeyGen. So HeyGen is it makes your AI twin for you. So this video that you see here, this is actually not the actual person that did the video. So what happens is you create an account, you upload credits, and to get this thing started, the first thing you have to do is record a video of yourself just talking to the camera for like 2 minutes. Doesn't matter what you say. You're just giving HeyGen your avatar, so to speak, and your voice and inflections and all that. So you can literally just be babbling for 2 minutes. You upload that, then it takes, I want to say about an hour, and it clones you. And it takes you and makes it so that you can upload a script, and HeyGen will take the script that you upload, put it against your avatar, and have you speaking what the script says. So once I finish or have the different chapters of the book, I can take key points from it, put them into HeyGen, have HeyGen make a video about it. Now I can take those videos and I can put them in my email follow-up campaign. I can put them inside of my social media as posts. I can put them onto YouTube, all the things. So taking that first prompt that writes a book, then we take the book, break it up into sections, take the sections, have it write scripts, take the script, upload it to Hey, have AI duplicate me as a twin, as an avatar, and now I can make endless books, endless videos without me having to actually get on camera, but it's still me speaking, my lips, my voice, my skin, all of it. So I think that's pretty cool. Any thoughts, questions, ideas around that? Not all at once now. All right. Okay, so we talked about having AI write your book, do your videos through something like HeyGen. Now the question becomes, how can, like, what else can AI do to help me grow my business, right? So one of the things that you can prompt it to do, there's really not much you can't ask it to do. I try to break it all the time, and it just continues to be able to execute on whatever I ask it. But what's my point? Is I can have it start scrubbing different assets, different websites for things that I want. One of the things that I have it scrubbing right now is I said, I want to get in rooms, real estate agents. Can you please find me the best meetup groups in these cities that have open enrollment so that I can go and network and meet with agents? So for you, you can do the same thing and say, all right, I want to meet with potential home sellers, or I want to meet with potential home buyers. Can you please find the best events through Meetup and Eventbrite, etc., for me to register and attend, right? So all of a sudden, it might find, like, home shows and maybe asset planning. The list goes on and on. But having it do the work to find the events for you. Now I show up to the event. I have my book that I wrote. I have all my content already done, and I can step into leveraging networking with the book and myself, as I've always done in the past. So I really challenge you to start thinking, like, how can I look at ChatGPT and AI as an actual assistant, right? Like, what do I want it to do for me? And then challenge you to go do it, and you'll be shocked at how many things it can help you start to execute on. Anything you want to add to that, Billy?
No, the only thing I guess I would say is, it's taken you a long time to get to where you're at. I would say don't stop because you don't have everything in place, right? So you just painted a very pretty picture of, you have the book written, you have everything, and then going to the networking. If you don't have the book written, still use that idea. I mean, it's a great idea of finding networking events. Go to the networking events while you're doing the book, right? Don't fall forward faster. Don't stop if you don't have every link put together perfectly. I think that's one thing that stops a lot of people when it comes to this. It's kind of a work in progress. I mean, if we're going to be doing this career for a long period of time, it's a career. It's keep moving, put one piece in, work on it, and don't stop. And at one point in time, you will have all these things put together.
100%. Thank you for that, Billy. Any questions, thoughts, ideas around anything we touched on so far? You can go ahead and unmute yourself or throw it in the chat. Next thing I want to touch on is something, Billy, I think this actually came to be when we were in a mastermind together with Roland. I believe you were there. Which the conversation sparked with someone asking Roland how to get into the luxury market. Like, how can I start selling to luxury homes? Remember this convo, Billy? I think you were there.
Yep. Yeah. When
And
he said he didn't really love real estate agents.
yes, so this is the point. Uh, I'm going to tell you the story, but then I want you to take it and use it for your own strategy. You know, Roland buys and sells like $5, $6, $7 million homes on a regular basis. And so he's the luxury avatar. And he said, you know, the agent asked the question. He said, I'm going to be honest with you. And he's a partner in Big Block, so he loves agents. But he's like, I want to be transparent. Like, my friends in my neighborhood, the people, my neighbors, etc., they they don't really care about the agent. To them, the agent is just the hired help. So the question becomes, how can you build a relationship with these people? And he said there was one of their neighbors is a real estate agent and has never really got traction inside of the neighborhood. But then they opened a restaurant down the road, and all of a sudden, all of the people in the community are like, oh, well, we didn't know you were an entrepreneur. We thought you were just an agent. So by them opening the restaurant, it helped them get a lot more real estate referrals. Now, what's the point? I'm not saying go start a restaurant, but he said the way that I would break into that market is I would start hosting wine club meetings. And I would do it in Rancho Santa Fe. I would pick a venue. I would work with a sommelier, what are they called? The wine people?
Sommelier.
Sommelier. And I would create my own wine club because generally speaking, nice wine is expensive. People that can afford expensive wine probably buy expensive real estate. It'll take you some time to build up, but over the course of time, you'll have a community of people that are coming to your wine, mixer, wine tasting, etc. So taking that same thought process and asking yourself, okay, well, what are my hobbies? What are something that I'm interested in that I can create a community around that then also leans into being able to get referrals and deals from that community? So the question then becomes like, what is it that you're interested in, right? Like, I'll tell you, for me, if I was trying to get into doing real estate transactions again, I would want to talk to people that have the means to buy more expensive type real estate, right? So one of the things that I'm really into is cars. So I would start a little car club where, every second Saturday or every other Saturday, you're organizing a drive where everyone meets at one parking lot. You guys drive, to, let's say, whatever, drive up the mountain and drive back and have lunch together. So if I get a group of 20 people with nice cars getting together every 2 weeks, one, people with nice cars know other people with nice cars. So they start inviting their friends, this thing starts to grow. But all of a sudden, I'm networking with people that are my ideal avatar inside of an environment that I enjoy being a part of. So what is it for you that you enjoy doing, right? I saw Zap jumped on. Zap works with, I might be wrong, but works with like newlyweds, right? So that's a great way for him. One, I think it's a passion and something that he loves to do. But also, like, when you think about working with newlyweds oftentimes are going to end up buying real estate, right? So, Zap, you want to color that in for us at all? I see you just turned on your camera.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, I do. I started actually working with newlyweds maybe 10 years ago before I got my real estate license. And so I'd already built a little small community of friends. And what's cool is, newlyweds are usually in their 20s, maybe 30s. And so they start there, but, they typically, work, they have a couple kids usually. And so maybe I meet them in 2015, 2020, 2012, when they're newlyweds. And then in 2018, 19, had 1 or 2 kids, and now it's time to move from that condo to a detached home, right? Also, what's cool about the demographic that I really work with a lot is that the ones who've been married, 6, 7, 10 years, they're at the age where their parents are maybe downsizing. And so now, again, I've had years, right? 2 or 3 years, 4 or 5 years of relationship. And when they matter of fact, I'm working with a client right now that I got introduced because it was a parent situation. Like, hey, this is my mom and dad. We're having grandkids. They want to move from LA to San Diego. They want to move from the Bay Area to San Diego, or they want to move from, wherever to San Diego. And so it just layers, it just layers. So it's great.
I love it. Quick question, like how did you start it? Or was it just something you created inside of your church? Like how did it originally start for you?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, it's something that originally was a like a side ministry, I guess you'd call it, from church. It's one of those things where we wanted to reach out to couples that are newlyweds that maybe don't go to church, and so we would meet outside of church. We wouldn't like meet at, I mean, we meet at the church sometimes, but our goal wasn't to just, our goal is to reach out to them, like outreach, and show some love. I mean, just in short, just really show them some love. And so we started it, my wife and I started it back in 2014. And it just started with a small group of people that were newlyweds that were kind of hitting us up with just questions. And it turned into, a much larger thing where people did it. But yeah, but to I guess answer your question, how did it start, is small, started very small. It was like 4 couples that would come to our house twice a month for coffee or dinner or lunch on a Saturday. And we would just answer questions because we'd been married 5 or 6 years. They've been married 5 or 6 minutes, 5 or 6 weeks, 5 or 6 months. And we were just a little bit ahead of them, right? Like they'd be like, so how do you decide where to have Thanksgiving? Like her place, his place, like grandma's place, grandpa's place. And we'd just talk through that. And so they would invite, it was great because we didn't really have to market that hard. They would just invite their friends that just got married. Like, hey, we're part of this group. We meet a couple times a month. It's really cool. Get to meet other wives, get to meet other husbands.
I love that.
Yeah, just grew from there organically.
Thank you for that, Zap.
Yeah.
What I want to challenge you all to think is, like, for Zap, like this was something that he was already passionate about. He was already doing it in his church. What is it for you that you would enjoy doing? I'll give you a story that I've shared before to help color in like how wide this can be. I started working with an agent. She hired me to be a consultant for her to help her grow her business. And she was in the business for 2 years, and I forget the exact number, but her second year in the business, she was doing something like 60, 70 deals a year. And I said, like, how the heck, as a brand new agent, are you doing 60, 70 deals? And she said, well, prior to being an agent, I was a midwife, and I've helped thousands of people like through the birthing process. So when I ended up getting my real estate license, I just started marketing to all of the families that I was supporting as a midwife. And all of my business is coming in form of referral through people that I helped prior. So I'm not saying go be a midwife, but I am suggesting that when you start to think like newlyweds, new mommy groups, new daddy groups, car clubs, yoga clubs, what is it that you are passionate about? And when you start to create that community, all of a sudden your database starts to grow, your deal flow starts to grow. So I was talking to an agent the other day that wanted to do this exact same thing. And a year ago, she started, I forget what she called it, but it was like Mommy Fridays. And it started every other Friday. The moms would get together and just talk about life and momming. And she's like, it started with me and 2 girlfriends. And over the course of a year, we have almost, I think she said almost 100 moms that come to every meeting. because one mom referred another mom, etc. And now she's getting primarily all of her business in form of referral through the mommy group. What is it for you that you feel excited about creating a community around? Something that for you would be fun and exciting to do, right? And just start small, and you can leverage stuff like meetup.com. You can leverage stuff like Eventbrite, and start to just get it out there and watch it naturally start to grow on itself. Any thoughts or questions on this? And I have one other thought I want to layer on top of that. So once I define, okay, I want to do a yoga meetup. You can go on to Meetup and look for yoga groups in the area that you're interested in and reach out to the person that is running them and ask them one of two things. If they're interested in selling the group, you can buy meetup groups for like $1,000. So if I find a meetup group that is the avatar of the community that I want to build, and it already has, let's say, 100 members or 1,000 members, odds are the person that has that group started it for passion, not for profit. So they're not monetizing it anyways. They just started it for passion. I can buy the group from them, and now I have kind of shortcutted the gap to get it to grow. And I'm going to say, like, if I buy Zap's group, I'm going to say, hey, like, I'm going to ask for you to still be here and still come to the events, at least for a 3-month period as we pass the baton to me, so to speak. So if I'm Billy and my avatar is landlords, I might think about going and buying an investor meetup group, right? Or an investor Facebook group. So how can you get inside of the community that's your ideal avatar, adding you, and in return getting referrals? And again, a cool way to shortcut that could be buying existing groups that are already on those different platforms.
And then go back to your point earlier about how to find those. Use ChatGPT, use AI to identify where those groups are, and then start doing some research on those. That's
100%.
glorious.
Yeah, it is glorious.
Glorious.
Glorious. So look, all of these things, like, you only need one of these hacks to work to really start to fill your pipeline with business, right? So which one are you going to pick and start executing on? And then start to stack it from there. So if you decide you're going to start doing the clubs, like, just pick a club and start. And maybe the first 3 times you do it, it's you and your girlfriend or whoever, right? But over the course of time, if you stay consistent with it, it will grow. And the nice thing is that it's something that you're already passionate about. So that's what I have for you guys for today. Billy, any other thoughts you want to share?
No, I just love when we get together and do these things because it reinvigorates some past ideas that I've had. It also, creates new ones inside my head. And now it's time to get to work on them.
Love it. While we're on the topic of Billy, tell us a little bit about Wheelies and how people can get a hold of you.
So I think Dina is on here too. So Dina is with, no, there she is. So Wheelies is a full service property management company. There's a couple of you folks who are on here. I appreciate your referrals in the past. We look forward to helping you guys in the future. We work with owners. So we are looking to talk to owners. Maybe it's a military couple who's moving out of state and they want to keep that home. Maybe they've had the property on the market for a long period of time. They still want to buy, and they can keep that property and purchase the new one. We'd love to run some rent estimates, so you definitely can give us a call. You can reach out through the website. We have ways that you can send your referrals that way. You can, of course, send me a text message. We also have a young lady here with us. Her name's Dina. She also is a good contact. I can put my information in the chat, but just reach out to us. We're happy to help in any way we can. If you have questions about laws, laws are ever changing. Imperial Beach just implemented just cause evictions. So the laws are changing in each community in each area of San Diego. So let us know if you have questions about property management. We're here to help.
Appreciate you, Billy. I don't know if you touched on this, but I think it's noteworthy, which is one of the value props when you work with WeLease is if you refer them a landlord and that landlord indicates to them that they're thinking about selling the property, they're always going to tap you back in so that your business is protected. All right. Billy just shared his phone number, 619-787-4066 or billy@weleaseusa.com. Any other thoughts before we break? All right. Well, I appreciate you all for hanging out today. Billy, thank you for co-hosting. Zap, thank you for sharing. John, appreciate you sharing that screen share as well. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.